just going to wait. Hi, there are a lot more people here than I was expecting, which is both good and bad. Thank you, Reese, for your lovely words. I do not deserve a single one of them, but hey, poets are lovely to each other, so I'll accept it and move on. So, just a slight little preamble. Reese told me through an email which he accidentally sent at 2 o'clock in the morning, would you like a headline slot? It's 15 minutes. I said, absolutely. He replied, shit, I was trying to be professional. Congratulations, buddy, great start. Fast forward to today, about an hour before I was set to start performing, in which I screamed at him saying, Reese, I think my set is too long, what do I do? And he goes, just try. So, I'm going to try and skip the rest of the preambles for the rest of the set that I would usually have and just throw some poetry at your beautiful faces. And hopefully you'll enjoy it. I am a writer. A self-confessed lover of words, whose heart pumps ink around their veins instead of blood. The pen strokes on the paper reflecting everything I am and everything I've ever wanted to be. My notebooks are my mirror. The truest picture I could ever paint of myself is in words. So when my pen ran dry, it only made sense for me to write more, because to me, that felt like bleeding. The pen acting my razor, the paper my skin, the ink stains my confessions. I wrote a lot of confessions. I confess I am gay. I confess I am not okay. I confess I'm not trying to get better. I confess I have no gender. I confess I stopped reading books when I was 16. I couldn't bear to see anyone else's ink stains confess. I am a writer. I was never a good one. The words flowing out of me, unedited and unchanged like gold dust, tarnished. I could polish them up, make them presentable, dazzle people with their beauty, but I've never had the energy. If I made the words beautiful, they would only become ironic. See, I don't know anyone whose heart pumps ink as fast as mine can, nor anyone who would sacrifice my blood to write it, because all I've been doing is writing eulogies for people still breathing. And I can't help but wonder, who's going to write mine when I'm gone? I wonder, if I wrote it myself, with the last ink from my veins, would it be considered a suicide note? I made you cry. I made my goal. I'm happy. Sorry. I basically said that my aim tonight was to make one person cry, and it happened, so I'm really sorry, babe. You tried. Moving straight on, half of my set was finished an hour before I started, so I'm going to be using a backup because I don't know everything off by heart, sorry. This is called Our Generation. There are many things my generation are known for, be it social media interaction above in-person communication or ruining the vote by putting our concerns first. But just because young Americans felt the burn and young Brits have started chanting the name of politicians at football games rather than refs' names, we're labelled disrespectful. Baby boomers bang on about Brexit over breakfast as we cringe in corners contemplating whether we're ever going to be taken seriously. Do you hashtag relate to this, or do I need to hashtag stop? See, hashtagging our problems became our cries for help, quickly becoming ironic jibes at each other's misfortunes so we didn't have to focus on our own. And now we hashtag everything. Labels and tags becoming our safety nets in unsafe networks of friends or enemies or frenemies or who knows what you are to me. But listen, see, we all have something in common. I'm not a hipster. I don't identify as one yet. Somehow that now makes me a hipster. See, me and my friends, we're so edgy, we are almost corners. Or triangles. Forever feeling boxed in, but never belonging. See, our dreams have become memes we can't help but laugh at anymore. I didn't want this to be a sad poem, but I never do. I can't help but notice how every face in this crowd is wearing a smile that never quite catches your eyes. Like there's always something else going on. It's so hard to ignore statistics, especially when they're so wrong. 1 in 10 young adults suffer from mental health conditions. It's more 1 in 10 that don't. Is it any wonder? Our parents' generation were raised to turn the other cheek, but they weren't shown how to notice. But our generation, the generation of fad dance moves over fad diets, of bros before hoes and chicks before dicks, the generation of everything is better after a cup of tea or a shot of vodka. We listen. We still see each other's sadness when the lights are on, and when there's no one home, and we're caught out in the rain. We know we're still welcome to sit in the quiet of each other's living rooms just waiting for the storms to pass. See, our generation, despite seeming so different, is simply another step in social evolution that even we struggle to understand sometimes. But at least we tried. So laugh at our sorrows and walk away from grief, but remember, at the end of it all, we're the ones that get to choose their care homes. Lovely, I only have to pick one, parents. Whoop whoop. Moving straight onwards, shift in tone. Enjoy. You said that if I ever want to run away, I should join you. As if I've ever wanted anything more than to run from him. Is that what you're doing? Running from every past mistake. Inviting me because you know I wasn't one? If that's so, tell me. If that's so, come back to me and we can run away together. Call it an adventure, knowing it's the only word we're both familiar with and yet not scared of. And I promise we will never come back. Not until the stars replicate the freckles on your face, sparse yet beautiful. The stars having burnt out into nothing, leaving only ghosts of smoke across the night sky, more pale than your skin will ever be, to remind us they ever even existed. Not until Sherlock season 5, or the Doctor actually dies, not until we forget the words to our favourite song, because the only words we know now are sorry and goodbye. Or I love you. I love you. And no matter how many times I have to apologise, I know I will never bring myself to say the words goodbye, because what good is an adventure if you have no one to share it with? To prove it was ever real. And when the greatest adventure is living, and you are the only one who made it feel like a reality, I know the last thing you will ever hear is I love you. Why I wrote poetry, but I guess it was because I wrote it to make people feel what I feel. So I mean, this is all just a big paradox, really. I'll try and lighten it even more, shall I? Yeah, this is about cliches, because everyone loves a good old cliche, right? Ask me no questions, I will tell you no lies. or answers for that matter, because I usually don't have them. I'd probably just Google it on my smartphone and text you the answer, so you might as well skip out the middleman and ask Siri. Or my dad, he's all ears, by which I don't mean he's a good listener, he just has really big ears, they hang like halfway down his face. But he always has an ace up his sleeveless shirt, because he trained to be a magician once, and he can't seem to break the habit of hiding cards in his clothing. He's like my granddad in that way, never able to break a habit. But the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, even if it rolls to the other side of the orchard, or gets eaten by a hungry pig. My granddad's habit is what killed him, but not me. See, I'm fit as a fiddle. I'm fit as a fiddler's fingers that fiddle the fiddle strings tentatively through him as the fiddler doesn't know the words to, just the fiddle strings. Whilst dancers swirl beneath the moonlight's fistfight of the stars, knocking constellations up and out across the darkness of space, I watch. Tongue in teeth, with spaces between them darker than that of the sky. I'm still waiting for my wisdom teeth, but a word from the wise will hurt when they come through, more than when your friends don't come through, backing out of plans faster than it takes to make a mountain out of a molehill. I've climbed molehills before, by which I obviously mean mountains. They just never seem too difficult. The view from the top was always worth the climb, but sometimes when you get there, and you'll know this if you've ever climbed a molehill, you'll wish you could just fly to the bottom, or fall, head over hills, through every cloud with a silver lining, back down to earth. My best friend came back down to earth once when she realised she was always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But we both know that's because she doesn't believe in marriage. That means signing the certificate means signing away the rest of her life, and she's never going to be ready to do that. Also, because, you know, if she ever got married, she'd probably be the groom, because she hates dresses and suits look way better on her. So I think. She doesn't think she looks good in anything, because her glass is always half empty whilst mine's just waiting to be topped up. I don't know where I'm going with this. I guess part of me just insists that cliches are cliches for a reason. They're not a bad thing if you use them in a new way. So if I have cliches in my poetry, just know I've tried to take them out. And believe me, it just works better this way. I'm gonna have to pick between two, and I think I'm gonna go for the second one because I think that one's better. I don't know which one you mean. The one about my broski. Yeah, sweet, got it. Rose is my go-to. She's like a manager. It's I don't know what I'm doing. Pick for me. This is called Home. I have a brother. He's 6'2" tall, all muscle and man, and his IQ is, well, roughly average. As we became adults, he wasn't the best either, but as we grew up, he always tried to steer me right, even when he made a wrong turn. It became hard not to follow the leader. We have more in common than we like to admit sometimes, and as kids, we were often found revelling in nobody's company but our own, rolling toy cars over bumpy carpets until he took my favourite, or I took his, and we ended up wrestling across the living room floor. With some opposite ends of the sofa, reading Harry Potter, him always 2 books ahead, dropping spoilers every now and then just because he could, and he knew how much it annoyed me. I knew Voldemort died before I'd even read about Horcruxes. My brother taught me that. We would go on bike rides, racing around the block, him always 1 lap ahead until one of us got a puncture and we'd have to go home so he could fix it. Did you know if you lower the tyre into water, it will bubble from the puncture wound? My brother taught me that. We played countless video games, but our favourites were the racing games, racing across rally tracks around Silverstone, down city streets and across country. There were always secret shortcuts, not easy to find, but always there, just out of plain sight. My brother taught me that, but we started to grow apart. He started going out more, I played board games by myself, taking turns to move the pieces around the board. I'd race the clock instead of my brother, until my own times got too fast to beat, so I gave up the games, turned to the one thing that never left me. Words, books, writing. I knew if you're talented at something, you can do something with it. I taught my brother that. See, when we were younger, I'd build Lego statues of everything and nothing, all at once, only for my brother to tear it down, because I need the red bricks to build a house. A house. Not a home. He never felt at home. Forever running from the brick walls that housed him down tobacco tracks and beer bottle pavements, he escaped the only way he'd been shown how. By trying to take a shortcut, but not me. I'd learned from all that time alone that you didn't need a shortcut to win the race. Sure, I had my stray spell, where like my brother I thought the answers lay at the bottom of a bottle, but when the bottle ran dry I never felt any better. It was poetry that saved me. Through writing I found out where home is. Home is in the books whose pages I'd get lost in the video games that make me think of him. It's in those very Lego bricks that my brother needed so much, because we've always been each other's little piece of home. I hope he knows he's welcome wherever I go, but no matter how much he protests, I know how much he wants to find his own, and I hope that he does. Soon. One thing I know for sure is that we'll all find home sometime. No matter how long it takes, I know I always expected to find mine in someone else. In my brother. Home isn't just one place for me anymore. It's here. With lights in my face, a microphone in my hand, and a stage beneath my feet. So remember, no matter whether you take the shortcut or you go the long way round, you'll always arrive at the finish line.